How does social media and peer pressure influence young people's decision-making and overall well-being? Social media can have both positive and negative effect on young people depending on how they are used. We need to educate young people on how to use social media in a safe way and how to avoid dangerous situations online. We can also limit the use of social media to avoid bad situations by finding alternate uses of our time. The three main positives that I found of social media use in young people is personal expression through social media. You can meet new people and you can spread awareness on social topics. Young people are free to express themselves and post whatever makes them happy online. And they can also share accomplishments, like when you get into a college, when you find a new job. And according to the fast fashion article, influencers can go to a certain boutique and take pictures with clothing that would never be sold, not to the public, not to them, and then post those pictures online and make revenue off of those. However, this might be great for influencers as it can lead to them gaining revenue, but it can lead to poor decision making on adolescents' part. They want to look cool and like certain celebrities or like the influencers that they follow, but then they spend money on things that they don't necessarily need, but they already have, and then they have too much of things like clothing, which is like the reason fast fashion is so bad. There's waste. And then they can create poor spending habits for the future, which can hurt them financially in the long run. Another positive of social media use in young people is meeting new people. Young people can meet new people through dating websites like Tinder. You can set your location and find people in your area that are also looking for a relationship and get to know them online and possibly start a relationship with them. Another great new way for young people to meet new people is through the new college roommate finding opportunity. Colleges create Facebook groups where all new incoming freshmen can join and then talk to people who find similar interests and similar habits, and then they can find a good roommate based off of the conversations that they have in these Facebook groups. This is a quote from David Alston, who's an author, and he says that social media is not media. The key is to listen, engage, and build relationships. And this highlights the fact that you can find so many new relationships and meet so many new people online that can help you in so many different ways in the future and in the now. The last positive I found was spreading awareness, and young people like Greta Thunberg uses her platform on Twitter to spread awareness on climate change issues. And another person is Taylor Swift. She used her massive platform through her music and through her social media to spread awareness to women's rights. And people like her, who has such a huge following, can do so much good when they spread awareness to their vast platform about social topics. The three main negatives that I found of social media is it can lead to drug use, manipulation, and it can really hurt your future. Focusing on drug use, tobacco and vaping companies use targeted ads to hook young users and get them addicted so that they could possibly have a lifelong customer. They use ads that make it look cool, like this ad where it says vaporize. This is a Juul ad, and it makes it look vaping look cool and hip and like everyone's doing it, but in reality they're not. And they also can use new fruity flavors that appeal to the younger generation and then use more targeted ads to get that information out to young people. Peer pressure can also play a huge role in drug use. According to the Development of Cognitive Neuroscience, young kids are not quite as susceptible to peer pressure as we thought. However, if they are susceptible to peer pressure, it's from their own age group. It's not from older age group like adults or younger kids. So pressure to start drugs is more prevalent in their own age groups than when it comes from older people. Young new voters who are searching for who they should vote for are extremely impressionable. Often their only information that they've received based on politics is from their family and parents, which is often very biased. Politicians who are running for election and campaigning use targeted ads to target whether it be their supporters or their critics, and use harvested information from sites like Facebook to cater those ads directly to the consumer. Harvesting information is when Facebook uses your likes, your dislikes, who you follow, to learn about your habits and your trends, and then uses that information to better cater your information to you. The politicians can use manipulation and possibly misinformation or misleading information to certain groups to sway voters to their side. And according to the cultural evolutionary trade-off of ritualistic synchrony, blindly following a public leader like a politician can lead to groupthink and less creativity. which hurts young people's decision making in the long run because they rely on public figures like politicians to make decisions for them, and they don't make any for themselves. And in 2020 alone, $2.84 billion were spent on political ads to sway voters and use manipulation to get what the politicians wanted. The last, and quite possibly the biggest issue with social media is it can ruin your future. Young people who are growing up in an increasingly digital world have to be very careful with what they post online. Some, and if not most, college admissions reps even look up applications profiles online and make sure that they haven't posted anything bad that the college doesn't want represented in their student body. It can also affect future job opportunities. A lot of employers also look up your social media history to make sure, again, you haven't posted anything bad online. One example is Nicole Crowther, who's in that picture, and she was an extra on Glee and was trying to break into the acting world when she posted spoilers of the new episode that was coming out later that week onto her Twitter account. And she was quickly fired and has had trouble regaining any more roles because of her history. Another example is Rashard Mendenhall, who was a professional football player, and he felt that the Osama bin Laden situation was handled poorly, so he spoke out about it on Twitter and lost all of his endorsement deals. And so a lot of kids hear the same saying over and over again, that social media is forever, and it truly is. Anything you post online will be there forever. In conclusion, social media can be a great tool for young people to express themselves, meet with people, and spread awareness on important social topics when it is used in a safe and smart way.
How did preliminary information you gathered inform your research?
I would say that I originally gathered almost all negative information because I was originally going to go into the negative route, but I didn't want to just focus on the negatives. So like I found a lot of information like Ghana and India, how it's terrible for young kids and just outright bad. But I wanted to focus on more of the positive and have like a positive light, so I dug more into research on the positive side.
Okay, thank you. What are the implications of your findings to the community?
I think this just shows like a lot of people say social media is bad for young kids, but it can be such a great tool, and you just have to use it carefully. But it can be such a good tool.
Okay, thank you.